I'm Leo Sidran with The Art of the Story. Like many deep cultural traditions, jazz can begin to feel like an insider's language, shaped by history, protected by codes, guarded by those who know it best. Every living culture eventually builds walls, histories, hierarchies, unspoken rules. Jazz is no exception. That kind of depth can be beautiful, but it can also be intimidating. And sometimes it takes someone standing just outside the circle to hold up a mirror and remind us that the music doesn't belong to a select few. It belongs to anyone willing to listen. For more than 4 decades, British DJ, broadcaster, and tastemaker Gilles Peterson has played that role. He's not a musician, he's a listener, a collector, a connector, a DJ whose curiosity has consistently opened doors between worlds that don't always speak to one another. Gilles came up as a DJ in London in the early 80s, playing records before and between bands. As DJ culture grew, he found himself not just presenting music, but shaping how people encountered it.
I'm coming at music from a different perspective to musicians, but I'm kind of coming at it from being a DJ primarily. So, that's really my creative part of me, which was a bit that was just the guy who played records before the bands, in between the bands, back in the early 80s. And slowly, as DJ culture grew, I found myself being the headliner instead of the bands. The bands were sort of around me. And so suddenly I found myself having to perform and be an artist.
That outsider position shaped everything that followed. He describes falling in love with jazz, but not necessarily with the culture surrounding it.
I love the music. I loved everything about it. But you'd go to the clubs and it really was that cliche. And it had no impact for me. I just didn't want to be part of that. But I love the music. So that's why we kind of created our way of enjoying the music.
The impulse to reframe rather than outright reject led Gilles to one of the great accidents of music history. In the late 1980s, Peterson coined the term acid jazz, blending the energy of acid house with the spirit of jazz, funk, and soul. And the name stuck. A whole genre was born. And jazz, once again, found its way onto dance floors and into the bodies of young listeners who might have never encountered it otherwise.
My sort of purpose in life is to bring this music to a wider audience.
And he did it by building bridges between jazz and dance music, between London and New York, between DJs and musicians.
Over the years, I've been able to join the dots between all these different types of music.
Now, more than 45 years into his career, Gilles Peterson still approaches music with the curiosity of a fan, someone who's never stopped listening, never stopped collecting, and never stopped asking questions. And that spirit will be front and center again at Winter Jazz Fest this year, where Gilles is hosting 2 special nights. First, a celebration of 35.5 years of Giant Step, featuring DJ sets from Gilles Peterson and Ron Trent, plus a live performance by Casa Overall. And later in the week, Gilles Peterson presents Liner Notes, an evening of music, stories, and conversation. 2 nights, 2 different frames, one reminder that jazz is alive for anyone willing to listen. I'm Leo Sidran, WBGO News.